You're the most wanted criminal in the country. Your hands are glued to the steering wheel. They're shaking, but you can't let them. The rain is hitting your windshield like gravel, and you can barely see the road. In the passenger seat, a burner phone lights up, casting a harsh blue glow on a sealed manila envelope next to it. The text message says one word, now. You don't know what's inside that envelope. You don't want to know. You just know that 5 minutes ago, you were a normal citizen. 5 minutes from now, you're a criminal. You step out into the mud behind the abandoned diner, every shadow looking like a cop, every gust of wind sounding like a siren. You drop the package under the loose brick by the dumpster, step back, and breathe in the cold air. You get back into the car, slam the door, and the burner phone buzzes again. The screen reads, bank transfer complete. $5,000. It's that easy. More money than you make in a month, earned in 60 seconds. You look in the rearview mirror, shift the car into drive, and push down on the gas. You think you're in control. You think you can stop whenever you want. You are completely wrong. 6 months pass. You aren't dropping envelopes anymore. You're sitting in the back of a dimly lit warehouse, counting stacks of hundreds, managing the logistics of an entire region. You're moving high-value, highly illegal cargo across state lines, and the street-level thugs who used to terrify you are now waiting on your phone calls. They call you the ghost. But the easy money has a price. You start noticing a dark SUV parked down your street 2 days in a row. You check your rearview mirror every 30 seconds while driving. You stop using your real name. You stop visiting your family. You're making $50,000 a week, but you sleep with a loaded 9mm under your head. You wake up sweating at 4 in the morning because a branch scraped against your window. The paranoia is a low, constant hum in your brain. It never stops. Then comes the night the music stops. A routine shipment. A quiet dock at midnight. Except someone sold you out. Suddenly, blinding white searchlights cut through the fog from all directions, followed by a sudden, deafening burst of police sirens. The crew scatters into the dark, but you stay cold. You sprint toward a heavy black SUV, dive into the driver's seat, and crank the engine. Bullets tear through your tailgate, shattering the rear glass as you slam the accelerator, smashing right through a rusted chain-link fence. You tear through the industrial district, taking corners on 2 wheels, using shortcuts you memorized weeks ago. You escape the perimeter. But you didn't escape the dashboard cameras. By sunrise, your face is inside every home in the country. Your real name is trending on social media, your bank accounts are frozen, and your apartment is being torn apart by federal agents. You are no longer a ghost. You are a target. You sit on the edge of a cheap motel bed, head in your hands, with a duffel bag full of loose cash sitting open on the floor. The criminal syndicate you worked for doesn't abandon you, they promote you. Why? Because the old boss fled the country, and you're the only one left with the spine to run the network. You take the crown because you have no choice. Survival requires power. And power changes everything. Within a year, you aren't hiding in cheap motels anymore. You build a shadow empire that runs deeper than the government itself. You move into a heavily fortified penthouse overlooking the city you used to blend into. You don't wear hoodies anymore, you wear tailored 3-piece suits. You don't carry a weapon, you carry absolute authority. You become a true mafia don, a ghost king who operates in the highest echelons of society. The most powerful people in the country now sit at your dinner table, eating food prepared by world-class chefs while negotiating terms. You have senators on your payroll, judges who dismiss your cases with a single phone call, and police chiefs who look the other way when your shipments arrive at the docks. When a major election comes around, both political parties secretly seek your financial backing, knowing your dark money can manipulate the vote. You control the ports, the real estate markets, and the encrypted dark web servers that fuel the underground economy. When you walk into an exclusive, underground lounge, the music stops, the crowd parts, and billionaires bow their heads out of respect. You don't just have muscle, you have an army of highly trained, suit-wearing enforcers who will eliminate any threat with a single nod of your head. You taste the intoxicating thrill of absolute control. You feel untouchable, like a god walking among mortals. Millions of dollars flow into your encrypted offshore accounts every single day, and you have more wealth than you could spend in 10 lifetimes. But your world has shrunk to the size of this glass cage. You can't step onto the balcony without a bulletproof vest. Your food has to be tested for poison by your most trusted lieutenant. You look down at the streets below and realize that every powerful politician who shakes your hand is just waiting for the right moment to knife you in the back. The federal government creates a dedicated task force just to hunt you down, bypassing your bought and paid for local cops. The FBI updates their website. Your face animates to the very top of the 10 most wanted fugitives list. The bounty reads, $10 million. Dead or alive. Suddenly, your mafia empire feels like a gilded trap. The politicians who took your cash stop answering your calls. The judges suddenly recuse themselves. Your muscle starts disappearing, realizing that $10 million is worth more than loyalty. You realize the very people you put in power are now looking at that bounty and doing the math. Trust becomes a fatal liability, so you run again. You abandon the penthouse, the suits, the politicians, and the luxury. You end up in a concrete bunker deep in the wilderness, miles away from civilization. It is freezing. There is no internet. No cell service. Just a shortwave radio, a stack of canned food, and a suitcase full of physical cash that you can't even spend. You burn $100 bills in a rusted barrel just to keep warm. Every snap of a twig outside makes you grab your rifle. Every rustle of the wind sounds like a tactical team moving into position. Your mind starts playing tricks on you in the dark. You haven't slept in 3 days. You would trade every corrupt politician, every $1 million deal, and every dollar in that suitcase for 1 hour of peace. 1 hour where nobody is hunting you. The shortwave radio suddenly stops emitting static. A clear, cold voice breaks through the speaker. Target location confirmed. All units, move in. You freeze. Your eyes widen. Suddenly, the entire bunker lights up as blinding white searchlights cut through the ventilation slots. The walls begin to vibrate with the massive, deafening roar of military helicopters hovering directly overhead. A megaphone booms from outside. This is the federal task force. The perimeter is sealed. Come out with your hands above your head. The ride is over. The trap is closed. You look at the heavy steel door, then at the suitcase of money, then at your reflection in a dirty mirror. Your eyes are sunken, your face pale, your youth stolen by the empire you built. You don't look like a mafia kingpin anymore. You look hollow, hollowed out by the very power you chased. You grab your rifle and chamber around. Click clack. You didn't want to spend the rest of your life in a dark, maximum security cage. You always knew how this story had to end. You grab the cold metal handle of the door, take one last deep breath, and throw it open into the blinding white light.